Sagicor Bank, supporting businesses with guidance and services to create the recipe for success. The time by Sagicor Bank is
CVM News at 7 Headlines Thursday, brought to you by Guardian Life. Live secure, live easy.
Coming up in CVM News at 7, charged 3 policemen to face the court for 2023 fatal shooting in Denham Town. Payment claims denied. DPP refutes attorney in Ray Morgan case. New housing strategy. Prime Minister Holness addresses supply shortfalls. Inquiry this, traffic ticket trouble. Understanding your legal options. In the business report, Mutuality Matters, the VM Group's 3rd AGM. And later on in sports, Samantha Hall takes historic gold in women's discus at Commonwealth Games.
CVM News at 7 Headlines Thursday, brought to you by Guardian Life. Live secure, live easy.
From Kingston, Jamaica, this is CVM News at 7 for Thursday, July 30, 2026. I'm Nika Lewis. Thank you for joining us. 2 serving members of the Jamaica Constabulary Force and a former police constable have been charged with murder following an Indicom investigation into the 2023 fatal shooting of Nicholas Miller in Denham Town, Kingston. Constables Delano Stewart, Javon Francis and former constable O'Dane Williams appeared before the Home Circuit Court on Thursday after the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions ruled that criminal charges should be laid. Investigators say Miller was fatally shot during an operation on September 6, 2023. The police had alleged he was among robbery suspects they were pursuing, but eyewitnesses disputed that account. Stewart and Francis were each granted bail in the sum of $500,000 with reporting conditions, while Williams was remanded in custody. The matter is set to return to court on July 31. Indicom says the latest charges bring the number of law enforcement officers charged in cases it has investigated since January 2024 to 68. Now, between January 1 and July 27 this year, Jamaica's law enforcement saw a 7.9% drop in police fatal shootings. That's 15 fewer than the corresponding period for last year. The details in this report.
Jamaica has recorded a decline in police fatal shootings from 189 to 174, just 15 fewer than the same period last year. However, 3 people were reportedly killed in police-involved shootings in Westmoreland Tuesday evening. Speaking on CVM's lead story Tuesday, Principal Director of the National Integrity Action NIA, Dr. Gavin Myers, says the decline also points to a bigger issue, the use of lethal force by the police.
I'm saying that we want to ensure that our justice system is made to work and we see how it is working, rather than we hearing in the end that someone was a violence producer, someone was this. We want to see better systems. We are asking for the body-worn cameras and other systems in place for us to talk about it, for us to be able to see with confidence that our police is doing as they are trained, and that the training in some way supports them preserving life.
Myers says body-worn cameras can help preserve evidence and provide a clearer account of what happens during police encounters, strengthening transparency and public confidence in law enforcement.
We want to ensure that the Police Civilian Oversight Authority or whatever other systems are looking in, Indicom others are looking in, can say with confidence that our police did what was expected and did it best. We want to ensure that what systems are there, we can review and look and say, okay, this could have been done better and this is here.
In the meantime, Dr. Myers says St. James is showing that body-worn cameras can be used without compromising police operations, with police reporting an 89% compliance rate. He says the use of the technology in the parish should become standard.
I do, because it shows, and you know, St. James is not, let us not call it a push prom. St. James is they do very strong policing. They have a lot of different spaces to work in. They have all the terrain you can. They have the tactical discipline for them to use body-worn camera this way. Shows that it's something that we can do and something that we should continue to do. We can talk about this restraining, we can talk about the importance of this being done, but what is critical in this is that we want to say with confidence that we understand what happened and we know that the police did well.
Angela Melville, CVM News.
Meanwhile, the government says it's refining its approach to home ownership as it moves to address Jamaica's growing demand for affordable housing. Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness says the plan includes new starter homes, a buyback program, and expanded social housing options. Our reporter Kevin Black joins us with more.
Well, Nika, while handing over the first set of units at the Howard Avenue apartments in St. Andrew, Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness said the development is more than a key handover. He said the project will pilot a new first home model that allows eligible homeowners to sell their units back to the National Housing Trust and reapply for housing benefits as their needs change. Holness also used the occasion to defend the government's social housing program, saying misinformation has created confusion about how the different initiatives operate. The details in this report. The National Housing Trust, NHT, handed over the first set of units at the 248-unit Howard Avenue Apartments development in St. Andrew on Wednesday. Speaking at the handing over ceremony, Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness said the project demonstrates that affordable homes can still be delivered despite rising construction costs.
The demand for housing below the price point of $10 million is almost infinite in Jamaica. Everyone would want to be able to get a house for under $10 million. So we will have to be paying some more attention to increasing the number of social housing for people who are registered poor, people who are in need of infirmaries, and the drop-in centers. Dr.
Holness also used the occasion to clarify the government's social housing policy, saying different programs have been created to serve Jamaicans with different housing needs.
The NHT is now adding one more dimension to social housing by, in selected developments, making a few of the units available to families and individuals who are in need of housing. In this social housing program, the house will not pass on to generations. It will remain in the pool. And therefore, we believe that our social housing program is sufficiently broad to meet the demands across the segment of the housing market that require social housing.
The Prime Minister says the development also launches a new approach to starter homes designed to help first-time buyers build equity before moving to larger properties.
What we need to do is to have purpose-built homes that are starter units, attractive for young people, both in price point and how they are designed. And when they have reached that point in the life cycle where they want a little backyard now, because they have children and they need space for them to play, they should be able to sell that unit and go and get their NHT benefit again. And so within a decade or so, we should have a pool of houses that will always be there for young people to be able to acquire.
Kevin Black reporting for CVM News.
Jamaica's export earnings declined during the first 4 months of 2026. That's according to the Statistical Institute of Jamaica, Statin. The latest International Merchandise Trade Bulletin issued this week shows the country earned significantly less during the review period this year when compared to the corresponding period for last year. Here again is Kevin Black.
Jamaica is earning less from exports this year. New data from the Statistical Institute of Jamaica, Statin, shows export earnings dropped by 10.6% between January and April 2026 compared to the same period last year. The country spent nearly 5 times more on imports than it earned from exports during the first 4 months of this year. Total exports stand a little over $547 million, down from $612 million. But the Industry, Investment and Commerce Minister, Senator Obin Hill, says the figures reflect the devastation of Hurricane Melissa.
The 10.6% decline in export earnings between January and April 2026 must be viewed in the context of the severe disruptions caused by recent hurricanes. First, there was Hurricane Beryl on July 3rd, 2024, and then a Category 5 Hurricane Melissa on October 28, 2026. Both affected agriculture production and agro-processing especially, as well as normal production of other products, and had significant negative effect on the mining sector.
This comes as Statin highlights the decline was mainly driven by lower exports of crude materials such as alumina and bauxite, with the mining and quarrying industry recording the sharpest decline. The agricultural sector also lost ground, with lower export in yams, coffee and other root crops. Minister Hill says every time there is a reduction in agriculture or mining, it results in a reduction in the country's GDP. Meanwhile, Statin says the country spent nearly $2 billion more on imports than it earned from exports between January and April this year.
We are recovering from the effects of Melissa and also addressing the feed-through cost of increased oil prices given the wars in the Middle East and Ukraine. Because of the reduction in local production, we have had to import significantly more consumer items and more recently, intermediate materials as we restore productive activities in our country.
Kevin Black, CVM News.
Calls for embattled Cabinet Minister Dr. Andrew Wheatley to step aside or be booted from the Cabinet are not going away. The latest call comes from former Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, Lloyd B. Smith. The country's primary anti-corruption body, the Integrity Commission, recommended Dr. Wheatley be slapped with an illicit enrichment charge, but the minister has since taken the matter before the court. More in this report from Giovanni Hamilton.
It has been about 7 weeks since the Parliament tabled the Integrity Commission's investigative report into the financial affairs of Dr. Andrew Wheatley. The uncomplimentary findings were tabled on June 17, 2026. Since then, concerns about the matter have been persistent. While some have moved on, others continue to monitor developments closely. Among them, political commentator and former Deputy House Speaker Lloyd B. Smith, who says Dr. Wheatley's continued presence in the Cabinet sends the wrong message.
The fact that Minister Wheatley has been allowed to stay by the Prime Minister, of course, I think he's the base of the Prime Minister, it is setting a wrong precedent. In terms of the future, because once this continues, then it means that in the future, any cabinet minister that is fingered in any way by the Integrity Commission or is facing any other matter of tremendous public interest and is allowed to remain in the cabinet and to represent the country abroad and to be fully involved in the affairs of state, then it is setting a wrong precedent, and I think it ought not to be so.
The former Deputy Speaker added that the optics do not favor the Prime Minister, arguing that his support for Dr. Wheatley's stay in the Cabinet while under investigation is not a good look.
They don't look right. It looks almost palsy-walsy, to be honest. The fact of the matter is that the Prime Minister has gone as far as to say that Minister Wheatley continues to enjoy his full confidence. But when you look at the wider society and we see where the private sector organization of Jamaica, the Jamaica Council of Churches, various civil society groups, there has been an overwhelming call for the Prime Minister to make him step aside and for the Prime Minister to have totally ignored that level of pushback from civil society. It doesn't present a good picture.
Smith maintains there is a clear distinction between the Prime Minister's circumstances involving the Integrity Commission and Dr. Wheatley's.
Yes, I think there is a distinction because in the case of Dr. Wheatley, there is a clear-cut situation whereby the IC has ruled that, there are specific charges there and that he has to answer to. In the case of Dr. Holness, he has taken in the matter to court, and at the same time, there has not been any charge laid against him as such. So I would want to think that in his position, until the matter is further deliberated and cleared up by the court, especially now that he has gone to the court, then, he can remain in his position.
Giovanni Hamilton, CVM News.
You're watching CVM News at 7. More in just a moment.
Should critical illness strike? Don't let worry fill your head. Say hello to happiness and goodbye to worry with Guardian Life's new Ultimate Provider Plan. Secure your medical expenses in the event of critical illness ahead of time while benefiting from more investment portfolio and so much more. Give yourself and your family the peace of mind you deserve with Guardian Life's new Ultimate Provider Plan today. And live secure, live easy.
Before the first patty is baked, there are hands that grow what we need. For Jamaica, by Jamaicans. Through every season and challenge, they built with us. They believed. To every farmer, thank you.
KFC Summer Bucket.
Chicken, 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 Macadillo, super chicken.
This KFC bucket deal has you thinking chicken. Get the summer bucket for $4,700.
So glad to have you back. As the government moves to develop policy on the responsible use of social media among children and young people, child and adolescent psychiatrist Dr. Ganesh Shetty is warning excessive technology use is fueling addictive behavior in minors. Carla Ramdeen has more.
Child and adolescent psychiatrist Dr. Ganesh Shetty explains that one factor leading to addictive behavior is that many parents are increasingly using technology as a babysitting tool. He adds that in his clinical practice, he's seen how early introduction to technology and excessive consumption are leading to children becoming addicted to their devices.
Once we say in public sphere that it is okay to have a 2 to 5 year old to be allowed 1 hour of screen time, it could multiply quickly because it's a very good tool to keep them quiet. And who is there to monitor the child and say 1 hour up, I'll take the tablet, and child will roll on the ground, make such a noise that the next door neighbor is thinking that you are trying to kill the child. These algorithms are created by behavioral specialists and they drag you into something more interesting, something more wonderful, so that it will suck you in to addiction.
Dr. Shetty says excessive attachment to digital devices can weaken children's connection with people around them, resulting in significant effects on brain development.
In teenage, it is very clear that your prefrontal cortex, which helps you to plan, decide, manage your temptations, is way behind the emotional centers like amygdala, which is your survival center, fear, anger, but also addiction. And that is sucked in with this very organized, very orchestrated trap.
Dr. Shetty says the use of social media also increases the risk of online harm for children. He also notes that algorithms are designed to generate more engaging and enticing content, which can lead to children accessing inappropriate material, including pornographic sites, and expose them to risks such as cyberbullying.
Affect your energy, affect your focus, affect your memory, affect your school grades, affect what you want to become. You can't become because you don't have grades to go to college, but you have just grades enough to go to the supermarket and push cart.
Carla Ramdeen, CVM News.
Meanwhile, the developers behind the Barking Lodge Fish Pond project are defending the development, saying it is being carried out legally and safely. Their response comes as Member of Parliament for St. Thomas Eastern Rosemary Shaw continues to call for an official investigation. Crystal Williams has the details.
St. Thomas Farms Limited says the project is being developed in line with regulatory requirements and will benefit the community. But Member of Parliament for St. Thomas Eastern Yvonne Shaw is urging the National Environment and Planning Agency, NEPA, to determine whether all legal and environment approvals are in place. In a written response to CVM News, Director of St. Thomas Farms Limited and former MP for the constituency, Dr. Michelle Charles, addressed the safety concerns being raised about the project. She said, quote, "We wish to assure parents, staff and residents that no water will be introduced into these ponds until the perimeter fencing has been completed and the area has been properly secured. The safety of students and residents remains a priority," unquote. But MP Shaw says residents have raised legitimate concerns about the project.
People of Barking Lodge have come to me with real concerns, and they deserve answers. Residents have raised the alarm about the construction of fish ponds right next to the Barking Lodge Primary and Infant School, along with reports that public accesses to the beach has been blocked and that sections of the public roadway have been dug up. That's why on July 24th, I formally wrote to the National Environment and Planning Agency, asking them to urgently investigate.
Those concerns prompted the MP to formally contact NEPA, requesting an urgent investigation into the project.
I want to know, were all the proper approvals and permits obtained? Was an environmental impact assessment done before construction began? And were the beach and roadway actions lawfully authorized?
She says development must not come at the expense of the community or the law.
I am not against development. St. Thomas needs investment and opportunity. But development can never come at the expense of our children's safety, our environment, or the rule of law. Every developer, no matter who they are, must follow the same rules that protect our communities. The residents of Barking Lodge deserve to be heard. They deserve real consultation on projects that affect their daily lives.
Crystal Williams, CVM News.
A traffic ticket can be more than just an inconvenience. It can lead to fines, demerit points, or even court appearances. But what happens if you believe the ticket was issued in error? Do you have to pay, or can you legally challenge it? In this week's Query This, Akeem Art speaks with attorney at law Abel Don Foot about the steps motorists should take to protect their rights after receiving a traffic ticket.
see it ya. Me not lie to you. Look how long this step on my window. And you gonna tell me say me get $10,000 ticket just with this step on my window. I'm gonna talk about say more S-line.
In this recent video circulating on social media, this woman was in tears after receiving a traffic ticket for reportedly using her cell phone. This has since sparked public debate about what the law says about issuing traffic tickets. If you believe a traffic ticket was issued to you in error, attorney at law at Able Attorneys, Able on Foot, says legal options are available from the very moment a traffic ticket is handed to a motorist.
A ticket operates in law as a summons, which means that if the fine that is on the ticket is not paid within the specified time frame stated on the face of the ticket, what we call in law ex facie, like on the face of the document or ticket, there is a date. If you don't pay by that date, you can go to challenge the ticket at the traffic court. So that would be the course of action to take in those circumstances, to challenge the ticket at the traffic court.
The attorney says there is a proper process for challenging a traffic ticket in Jamaica, but there are mistakes motorists might make that could weaken their case.
Not to pay the ticket, first of all, and then not to attend court. If they don't attend court, because it operates as a summons and it was duly served upon them, the judge presiding at the traffic court can issue a bench warrant for the arrest of the individual who did not attend court.
If it is proven that a traffic ticket was wrongly issued, remedies are available to you.
The matter would have to be litigated, and then a court of competent jurisdiction would have to pronounce on that it was a ticket that was wrongfully issued. And it is funny you asked that, because just today I appeared in a matter in the Supreme Court of a similar nature, where a motorist was issued with a ticketable offense, but on the face of the ticket, it did not state the offense. It was not an offense known to law. All the officer put on the face of the ticket was any other offense under the Road Traffic Act. So that particular motorist, who is an informed, sensible individual, says, no, he's challenging this. And early in the day, I believe it was the first court date that the matter went before the traffic court, it was dismissed.
You may choose to pay a ticket simply to avoid the inconvenience of going to court, even when you believe you are innocent. Attorney Foot shares this advice to protect your legal rights during a traffic stop and in the days immediately after receiving a ticket.
Make notes about what happened, perhaps in your phone, in your memo pad. You make notes as to the factual circumstances surrounding why this ticket was issued and why you say it was incorrectly issued. And then that you could use as your factual matrix to challenge the case being brought against you. Of course, if you have a dash cam that's installed in your vehicle as well, that could also assist in terms of putting the court on the scene to understand the entire circumstance within which this ticket was issued.
Well, that's all the time we have for Query This today. Remember, if you have a legal dilemma or concern you would like us to query, do send an email to aorit@cvmtv.com. For Query This, I'm Akeem Art.
CVM News at 7 continues after the break.
Before the first patty is baked, they are hands that grow what we need. For Jamaica, by Jamaicans. Through every season and challenge, they built with us. They believed. To every farmer, thank you.
KFC Summer Bucket.
Chicken, 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 Macadillo, super chicken.
This KFC bucket deal has you thinking chicken. Get the summer bucket for $4,700.
Get a T-Tag and lock in your toll rates for the next 90 days. Effective Saturday, August 1st, 2026. There will be some changes to the toll rates at the Portmore, Spanish Town, Vineyards, Maypen, Tollgate Mainline, and Tollgate Ramp toll plazas. But with a T-Tag, your rates will remain unchanged until October 31, 2026. Plus, all Class 1 and Class 2 T-Tag customers will get their 10th weekly trip through the same toll plaza free. Visit transjamhighways.com for the upcoming rate changes. Don't pay more at the toll booths. Get your T-Tag today from any manually operated toll booth on Transjam Highways.
KFC Summer Bucket. This KFC bucket deal has you thinking chicken. Get the summer bucket for $4,700.
The time by KFC is
7:30.
Welcome back. We return with a CVM News follow-up in the case of Ray Morgan. Director of Public Prosecutions DPP Claudette Thompson has strongly denied statements made in a document to Ray Morgan from his attorney John Clark that he is awaiting money owed to Mr. Morgan to be paid over to him by the DPP. More from Natasha Williams, who's been tracking that story.
Ray Morgan, an ex-convict who was awarded $79 million in this judgment handed down on March 19, 2026, is back again in the spotlight as he claims he is still yet to receive from his attorney all the money due to him. Following a CVM investigation into the matter in June, Morgan received a portion of the payment, followed by this document from his lawyer John Clark on June 10, 2026, stating that the remaining sum due to Morgan is, quote, payable by the Director of Public Prosecutions, end quote. However, the DPP, Claudette Thompson, told the CVM News that Mr. Clark's client was misinformed.
That is the most unfortunate misstatement of the facts. And now I understand why it is Mr. Morgan came here yesterday. The facts are that we received the certificate as it relates to the payment that should be made in respect of cost. We, as soon as we received that certificate, delivered that document among other documents to the relevant ministry and ministry office. Mr. John Clark was communicated with, and as far as I understand it, he is aware that payment will be made in short order.
However, Ms. Thompson stressed that payment would not be made by the DPP, and Mr. Clark should know better.
Well, it's not just in cases such as these. The DPP does not make payments. We do not. We don't handle money.
And attorneys should know this very well.
One can only hope.
CVM News contacted Mr. Clark for clarity on the matter. This is what he had to say.
And I just wanted to know, for the record, if it is that he can get an update as to when the amount that you have told him that the DPP owed to you would be granted to him, because we are pursuing.
So if he wants an update, you can call me directly for an update. I can give him an update through the media. That's one. Secondly, if he is satisfied with updates we're giving him, he can go to the General Legal Counsel, or he can go to the relevant government agency and ask them for follow-up, right?
Yeah, but he's been trying to call you and he's not getting a hold of you, and we too have been trying.
That is not true. Have a good day, ma'am.
In the meantime, Mr. Morgan told our news team that his ill health has proven costly.
My medical expense, I'm going to show you how that, my medical expense has eaten into that considerably. Right now, I'm almost back to square one.
The DPP says the payment of the legal fees awarded to Mr. Morgan and his legal team by the UK-based Privy Council will be handled by the Justice Ministry. Natasha Williams, CVM News.
Over now to the business report with Joel Crosskill.
Lots to share with you in the business report today. From a moment of appreciation for a modern, mutually beneficial relationship between the VM Group and its members, as the entity convened its third AGM, where the outcomes of its 3-year strategic planning cycle, guided by a singular objective to build a stronger, more efficient and more resilient enterprise, was shared by President and CEO of VM Group Limited, Courtney Campbell.
So first of all, we're a mutual. Means we're owned by our members. Now, mutuality matters because we have a little chart here that compares mutuals with shareholder companies. And there's nothing wrong with shareholder companies. Do you own equities? Yeah? I hope you're getting good dividends and appreciation. That's a good thing. But mutuals have a competitive difference for you, because whereas with the shareholder companies, profits go to the shareholders, with mutuals, the profits are reinvested for the members so that we can even serve you more. The more capital we have, is the more we're able to lend. For VM, you benefit from our growth because you are the owners. We serve you through 5 engines, through savings and loans in the building society, through real estate, through our investments and pensions, through our remittance services, and through general insurance that we offer through our associate company, BCIC. We're a global business. Because in addition to our presence in Jamaica, you may not realize that we have 8 other offices in 6 other countries across the world through our subsidiaries and associates of the VM Group. Did you realize that the VM Group was so expansive?
Frederick Williams, Group CFO, shared how ownership's strong core business performance manifested in 2025, who spoke of a significant uptick in pensions in particular.
VM Group reported profit before tax of $870 million in 2025 and net profit of $523 million. For VM Group, we reported operating revenues of $15.36 billion in 2025 compared to $14.8 billion in 2024. VM Pensions recorded a significant increase in assets under management to $80.3 billion as at the end of December 2025 compared to $70.6 billion as at the end of December 2024.
In pensions, we launched an e-pensions portal to deliver some efficiency improvements, and our assets under management there grew by $5.4 billion from 3 new clients. So that's a significant jump there.
Throughout the year, initiatives designed to simplify processes were also advanced, the benefits of which are becoming increasingly evident from the perspective of VM Group Chairman Michael McMorris.
Despite a challenging operating environment, VM Group continued to demonstrate resilience and financial strength. Total assets expanded to $255.62 billion, while the loan portfolio grew to $135.44 billion. And clients entrusted the group with an additional $18.49 billion in deposits during the year, increasing total saving balances to $171.45. Please clap our clients. Growth in net interest income grew by 23.71%, which helped to push pre-tax profits over the prior year by 63.2%. These outcomes reflect the enduring confidence that our members and clients continue to place in the VM brand.
President and CEO Courtney Campbell projected confidence in the business model and how it has positioned the VM Group to access an array of opportunities in the short and medium term.
And this year, 2026, we issued a preference share really to roll over an expired tranche, and we're pleased to say that we had invited the public to invest in $8.5 billion. The public applied for $10.6 billion, which is a 24% oversubscription. And just last week, VMIL closed a bond offer. They were seeking to raise $4 billion, and that offer was oversubscribed by $1 billion. So congratulations to the VMIL team. So members online and here with us at the Pegasus, you can be confident. We have a confidence scorecard here for you. The confidence in VM because of our asset growth, $32 billion. Because of our capital strength, you can be confident. Because of our strong core business growth in loans, assets under management, and the $18 billion in deposit growth that we had last year, there's no stronger statement of confidence than that.
And that was your business report.
Stay with us for sports right after the break.